Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalron, and in today's video I want to show you guys what I do in order to accomplish my Discipline Priest one-shot. In a particular brawl called Southshore's Terra Mill, it's a perfect place for you to get your Disc Priest out and get some hilarious one-shots out. Last time I was able to do this, it was fairly easy, but I'm not sure what happened between the last time we had the brawl and this time, except for the patch 7.3 of course. It got a lot harder for Discipline Priests to get that crazy one-shot going. It's still possible, but it's a lot more challenging. It's not as easy as it was last time. And in this video, I kind of want to go over the build and what I do in order to make that brawl a lot of fun. Of course, you're not really going to enjoy this brawl if you have a potato PC and are getting maybe sub 5 FPS. But if you can get at least 5 FPS and you have a PC that can handle it, then you can have some fun playing as a Discipline Priest. You're not focusing on a healer. This isn't a healing guide. This is literally a guide about taking advantage of as many mechanics as possible to deal the most amount of damage. Again, Blizzard made this a lot harder than before, but I still want to bring you guys this video guide, as getting those one-shots and big numbers is straight up hilarious and a lot of fun from a healer and DPS perspective. You're able to heal and deal damage, which is awesome. Anyway, let's get on to the actual talents that make this build work. And I'll talk about all the different aspects that make this build and viability possible. So first things first, you'll want to get yourself a lot of abilities that increase your damage. Now you're a healer, so there's not a lot in the talents and the honor talents to pick from. But a few that I can recommend: Twist of Fate, a lot easier than Schism, because with the build that I got going on and the rotation and the setup, you'll have to be very quick. Schism 1.2 second cast isn't long, but it's not worth for the setup that I'm talking about. That 30% damage increase is a decent amount of increase, but that's not really what's going to get you the damage. You're kind of just trying to play the atonement game. I feel like Twist of Fate in a brawl as big as that one will be almost impossible to not get. Next one, you will want to get Evangelism. All the middle ones don't really matter that much, as none of them really increase damage. Halo does not apply atonement. I know some of you might say Halo applies atonement, but it doesn't if you try it on a trained dummy. The idea is you're going to put as many atonements as possible, extend them, burst atonement, pop your cooldowns, one shot, and hope for the best. Let's talk about the honor talents that make this work. Some of the honor talents I would recommend are Defender of the Weak. If you're able to heal somebody who is below 50% health, and that's fairly easy, the 20% haste will allow you to get a lot more atonements and a lot more spell casts out, whether they're pleas or whether they're power word shields. Next one is Premonition. This one is a little bit weird, as it does have an atonement duration extension, but it can also one-shot you, because for every atonement out there, it will deal damage back to you. If you want to be really edgy, I guess that's something you could do. I played around with this to see if I'd like it for the duration extension for atonement, but it really is for the most part not worth. It doesn't cost any mana, so I guess if you have the health to spend, you could extend atonement to just get the maximum value out of it. Next one, Ultimate Radiance, making your power word shield instacast. It does increase its healing as well, which is nice, and you actually will notice it's a majority of your healing, even if you don't use it that often. But the instacast is what's gonna make this build happen. And finally, you will want to go Dark Angel, or Dark Archangel. The damage that you do now compared to the last time in the brawl, last time I had about net of 2.3 million damage baseline once my weapon hidden proc works. This time, if my weapon hidden proc works, I get about 1.1 million. So you really have a lot of numbers to match up. So a 20% increase of damage to 2.3, and if it crits, is a lot easier to achieve than trying to buff a 1.1 and then hope that it crits. But let's talk about what I do to make this work. If you can get Concordance on your priest, and you already have Concordance, then this will help you. But one mechanic that makes this happen is Sins of Many. With atonements, for every atonement that's out, damage is increased by 1%. So you want to get as many atonements as possible. And then you want to combine that with Twist of Fate for a 20% damage increase. And then you want to combine that with Dark Archangel for a 15% damage increase. Alright, now let's talk a little bit about how you get your burst out as a Discipline Priest. And I'm going to zoom out for this one in order to give you an idea. Normally, I would have a party window of everybody here, so I can just make all my casts are cursor casts. So for me, it's really easy to just go down the list and just spam any of my abilities from plea to power word shield. What I usually like to do is pop Rapture and then pop Bubbles on literally everybody. Bubbles makes it so that people are most likely to live if they do take random AoE damage, and atonement will stay on them. Plus it also pads the meters for healing, which is also kind of cool. Normally I would pop Rapture. That gives me 12 seconds of just popping Bubbles on everybody. So imagine I pop Rapture, and then I'm just going to plea here. But you're trying to spread as many atonements as possible. And if you have haste buffs, and if you have any of the other buffs, and if the game is not too laggy, then you can get yourself a decent amount of damage increase. I got about 10. Normally I'll be able to get between 12 to 15 if I have haste and if Berserk is up. After you get a bunch of those atonements, this is where you would want to pop Evangelism to extend them by 6 seconds. Once you pop Evangelism, you have a 6-second window in order to get your burst out. You have to pop Power Word Radiance on anybody who's low on health, and hope that Power Word Radiance spreads atonement to targets that don't have it. In most cases, you don't really know in a clusterfuck of what's going on in the brawl who is where, so for the most part it's kind of like a guessing game. But sometimes if you can manage it, like let's say you use it on caster, it'll spread around other casters, or if you use it on melee, it'll spread around another melee, and sometimes you can kind of time it. And it has a smart effect for it, where it'll try to balance to people that don't have atonement. So it'll try to play up to your field, like I got 8% just from using that twice. And you'll have instant cast for those. Once you get those atonements out, you'll have only a few seconds left, and during that time you want to pop Dark Angel, select your target, or have a target pre-selected, pop Light's Wrath, and hope for the best. That is all you got going on for this build.
Delicious.
Hope you guys enjoyed some of the one-shots. Another one of the biggest ones that I was able to get, but this is so far what I can do. Take advantage of the brawl and go out on your Disc Priest. Have some fun healing, but also have some fun dealing some mean damage, because it's really exciting and a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see all of you in yet another video.